Kakadosh Boker or Bekiim Bahalacha 3 day 82, page 178, Siman Yudchet, Siman 18, Halacha number Zayin. Im orchim et chuppah lifnei hashkiah. If they're going to do a chuppah before Shekiah, and the Hatan mitatev tziti kedei leforsa me'alav b'shat chuppah, and he puts on a talit in order that they should put it on top of them, just like the minhag is for the Sfaradim, the Dot Mizrach. They're going to make a berachav litatev tzitzit, and if it's a new one, he's going to make litatev tzitzit and then shechianu. But if they're going to do the chuppah in the nighttime, so therefore he only makes a bracha of shechianu. And when the Hatan is going to be mvarech litatev betzitzit, yitatef betelit. So he has to mean yitatef, just like he does in the morning. Right? And he comes and he says, right? Right? He says that's going to be the Daled Amot. And then afterwards he's going to put the talit on him and on the wife. That is the minhag Yerushalayim. Sandak v'avia ben. That they put on a talit, they have to do levarech alav v'yitatef kemo b'shachrit. Okay? Fine. And halacha number, let's see the footnotes. 237. A number of reasons are given for the customs of a groom putting on a talit during the wedding. The mani comes and he says, what is the minhag? Lama Hatan sam talit. He says the custom of France and the province is, he says the groom wears a talit because he brings the bride into the chuppah. Perhaps this is why the mitzvah tzitzit is immediately right before the couple getting married. The term chuppah might be derived from the practice of the groom covering the bride with a talit, which is mentioned in the Gemara. Likewise, Ruth asked Boaz to marry her, and he said, cast your garments over your maidservant, meaning put your clothing over me. The Navi actually said that the wedding is in Nissan. For the same reason, the Jews of France and province spread the colorful cloth over the heads of the bride and the groom. Another reason for covering them is also the cloth is it's more modest. It makes it like more, it's covered up, right? It's more tzniut. The Elmaleh explained that the reason for spreading the talit over the heads of the bride and the groom is to protect them from the evil eye, ayin hara, since there are usually many people watching them. Okay, this concept is also brought down in the Dvash Lefi, in the name of the Oziel HaKadosh, right? And then in Tivim also taught that the bride and the groom should be covered with the talit before the ketubah even. Okay, yes. It says like this, nighttime weddings, right? The Halacha Brura explained that although the poskim rule that normally it's forbidden to wear, right, talit gadol at night, it is permissible for a groom to wear one if his wedding ceremony takes place at night. Since there are several reasons for this practice, it is similar to the custom of having the cantor wear the talit at nighttime, which is permissible, and then there's no problem. Okay, so let's see about shechianu. According to some poskim, every groom must recite the shechianu upon getting married. The Muluksia explained that the groom is now acquiring a new wife, so just because of that, you have to say shechianu. Other poskim disagreed, and in order to satisfy both opinions, the custom is that he acquires a new talit, and he says shechianu on it during the ceremony, having in mind that the talit as well as the bride. The groom always should have likewise in mind, right? The blessing to cover his new home, new furnishings, and the wedding gifts. Whenever the Rishon LeZion officiated a wedding, he instructed the groom to have these things in mind, as is brought down. And he would tell the Hatan, have in mind, Ishtecha, Reitim, all these things. Shechianu is on everything. Okay? Fine. Okay? Fine. He comes in this. Covering the bride and the groom. It is not clear when the talit, right, needs to have the tzitzit attached when it's going to be worn by the bride and the groom. Shulchan Aruch just says if 2-3 people wearing a talit together, each of them must say the bracha. So most commentators understood that this means that each person has his own talit, right, and they're all putting it on at the same time. So he says the Sherek Knesset Gedolah, however, understood that there's one large talit that several people are sharing, even though it is only one talit. Each of the wearers can make a bracha. According to this, when people drape the talit of the Hatan and the Kala, the groom may say the bracha even though he's wearing only half of the talit. Okay, the Ginav Radim though disagreed. He said that the groom is not actually wearing the talit. He's using it as part of the ritual of getting married. He compared this to the scarves, right, which are brought down. So he says the Maran explained that these scarves are exempt from tzitzit and said that they are hung on the neck so that they are available to protect from rain or other things like that. So therefore, it does not warrant any bracha. So he says the Yad Aaron in the Pri Adama, he comes and he says that the groom's intention of putting on the talit is likewise to display honor for the occasion. So after lengthy discussion, they concluded that it's best to the first groom to put it on by himself, and then afterwards he puts it on the kala. And that's what the minhag. What would they do nowadays? Okay, fine. Next, number 238. We're talking about now the sandak and everything. So it says here, as explained in footnote halacha number 7, the Knesset Gedolah rule that a groom should put the beracha, right, when he's putting it on. The Ginav Radim disagreed. Regarding the sandak, then the Ginav Radim agreed that he must say the bracha since he's wearing the talit to show reverence for the occasion. Despite this, was not the occasion. There was not the custom of Shalom to wear talit when he served the sandak, as recorded in Mayan Omer. Nor is the custom of Shalom Kohen. That means they never used to wear anything. Nowadays, the Moalim, they come and they tell you, you have to wear a talit. You don't have to wear a talit. So therefore, you don't wear nothing, right? there is another custom that they wear talit and tefillin. That's something different, right? If it's right after shachrit or so. But to come and to say that you have to wear a talit, I apologize. You do not have to wear a talit. Yeah, it's not a chuvah to wear a talit. But no, but you don't need to at all. You don't need to at all. Okay? Fine. Okay, next. הלכה נאמר ח' יש מקומות שחכם הקהילה לובש טלית גדול בעת הדרשה בליל שבת וכן יש נהגו להלביש טלית לחכם בעת הכתרתו אף אם הכתרה נעשה בלילה והם בכך איסור ובלבד שלא יברכו על הטלית רק ברכת שהחיינו. So obviously don't make a ברכה, just you're doing שהחיינו. So what are we talking about? We're saying that the chacham comes and he puts on a talit in order to say the drasha, or when they're making him into a rabbi, they come and they put him on a talit and everything. So he said there, as long as you're not making a bracha, there's not going to be any problem whatsoever. Halacha number 10, mutar latil chutzit beged the talit balayla, and even lechatechila. And even though Laila is loved man tzitzit, we're not going to suspect for ta'aseh v'lo min asui. 239. See above Siman 10 for a definition of what the ta'aseh v'lo min asui. We said that you cannot make a meaning like this. If you're going to tell me that it's man tzitzit zelo balayla, so what's going to happen now? So he comes and he says, right? What happens is that we're going to come and we're going to say, right? We're going to come and we're going to say, right? One would think that because of this principle, he says that attached to the four-cornered garment during the night is going to be disqualified. After all, according to the Rambam, right? He says that it's being attached at nighttime and it's exempt during the nighttime. He says you don't have the problem. He says that's not the case because nothing needs to be done once they're already attached in order to become kosher. All we need is just to wait for the morning. So if it's not considered that you did an action, it's pashut just in the morning and then that's it. So that's why there's no problem, which means that even the chatechila in the nighttime you could come and you could do the tying of the tzitziot without any problem whatsoever.